Here's an idea for you. Let's let China and President Trump keep doing the talking, and we'll keep doing the profiting. Today I'm going to share with you my latest discovery with a handful of trades which stand to profit during the trade talks, no matter which way the deal goes. Want to know one of those trades? Click the button below and I'll show you why the Australian dollar is hot on my radar. All right, folks, today we're going to answer a very important question. Is your strategy still working? How do you know if it's still working or if it's busted? Because here's the reason why I'm bringing this up, and it's really important that you guys pay attention because this is huge. This is the typical characteristics. You get excited, you start trading, the trade goes for you, another trade goes against you, and then you have 3 losers in a row or 4 losers in a row, and then all of a sudden you decide the strategy is not working. Has that ever happened to you? I'm sure it has. So let me talk about what to look for, what to pay attention to figure out whether a strategy is working or not from a realistic perspective, from a real trader's perspective, okay? Because I get this question all the time. Roger, the last 3 weeks, there was losers. It's not working anymore. That's the equivalent of going outside, and I write this to people all the time. That's equivalent to going outside, seeing rain, and then concluding that it's going to rain every day for the rest of the year. You can't do that. So, and let me tell you a little story before I get into all the details, okay? I knew a trader. He was trading a system, okay, a methodology. And the system had 15 winners in a row, okay? 15. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. 15 winners in a row, all right? Now, anybody, you would think to yourself, that's an amazing system. That's a great system. How do I get that system? You know what he concluded? He concluded the system was broken. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, A, this guy deserves to be slapped. I'm just kidding. Something is not right here, right? And 2, how can that be? He had 15 winners in a row. What kind of a moron is he to think a system that had 15 winners in a row is broken? Let me explain. Remember characteristics, propensity. Characteristics or propensity of the system, you need to understand it. If you don't, you'll never be able to answer the question of whether the system is still working or strategy is still working or if it's not. Fortunately, this trader was a multimillionaire hedge fund manager, and he had tools. And he knew historically this system never, ever, ever wins more than 10 times. So when it started winning 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th time, he realized that it's out of characteristics. And he realized that just like it can have 15 winners in a row, it can have more losers in a row. Characteristics. Remember, upside, downside, double-edged sword. Volatility works both ways. Profits, more losers. So if you're not familiar with the characteristics of your strategy, you will never be able to answer that question. Now, one way to gain characteristics for a strategy is to trade it for 30 years. But if you've been trading a strategy for 30 years, then you don't need to answer the question. You'll know if the strategy is working or not. It's not that complicated, right? Because you have all that experience. But if not, you have to look at back test results. This trader did his own back testing. Now, in your case, my strategies, they come with all the back-tested results. They come with actual results. They come with back-tested results. So you could find the propensity of the strategy. Once you know the propensity of the strategy, you'll know if the strategy is working within its characteristics or not. So if you have 3 winners in a row, you could look at the strategy behind, the characteristics, and you can say, well, over the last 10 years, 20 times this strategy had 3 losers in a row or 15 winners in a row or 7 losers in a row. The bottom line is you can determine the characteristics of a strategy based on looking at past performance. And if you see something really, really good that's out of character, that's bad. And if you see something that's bad that's out of character, that's bad too. The point is, if the strategy, if what you're seeing is within the characteristics of the strategy, that means the strategy is not broken. And the best thing to do is to continue trading. So if you're trading a strategy and the strategy has 70% win rate. And all of a sudden, over a year and a half, the strategy has a 40% win rate. That's out of character. And if it's doing much, much better than it always does for some unexpected reason, that's bad too. Alarm bells go off. So you need to know your metrics. If you don't know your metrics, you're not going to be able to backtest, and you're not going to be able to, you need to backtest to know your metrics, but if you don't know your metrics, you'll never ever know the characteristics of your system unless you buy a system or you subscribe to one of my services. Now, I'm not trying to do this video to get you to subscribe to my services, although I'd like it. But anyhow, getting back to the video, regardless of what system you trade, whether you created one yourself, whether you bought one, whether your neighbor gave one to you, know the propensity, the characteristics of the strategy. Otherwise, you'll never, ever, ever know what its normal pattern of behavior is versus odd. It's just like people. If I come to your house, you kind of know how I talk. And if I start acting like this, you'll know that's not normal. So to know whether a strategy is working normally, you've got to see how it's worked in the past. So before you send me that email, okay, saying, Roger, this strategy is doing really, really good, look at the characteristics. Has it ever done it in the past? Are the gains we're seeing substantially bigger? Or conversely, if you're going to send me an email saying, Roger, it must be broken. It had 5 losers in a row. Take a look at the history. Look at the history. The history should give you a really good idea, especially our history when we're looking back 10 years, 7 years, 5 years. When you're looking back years at an active strategy, you have a really good sample, a size sample. So know your metrics, backtest, or find someone to backtest for you if it's your own strategy. If it's ours, easy, just go into our members area and look at our characteristics of the strategy in your members area. Know the characteristics, and then you will know if the strategy is broken or not. And just to let you know, to give you a little tidbit, and this is worth a lot of money here, the fewer rules a strategy has, the fewer principles it's based on, the likelihood that it'll continue working in the future. The more moving parts you have, the higher the odds that something will go bust. And that, by the way, is the philosophy that Warren Buffett has made billions of dollars on. Few moving parts. If you look at everything Warren Buffett does, he invests in companies with the fewest moving parts. He looks at things that are very uncomplicated. All right, if you guys are getting something out of it, subscribe to our channel. Send me an email to roger@wealthpress.com. Let me know if you're getting something out of these videos. And give me more topics. Give me questions to do videos on. I love helping you guys out. Subscribe to this channel. Talk to you soon. Take care. Wait, we're not done with the rundown just yet. In just a few moments, we'll continue the talks with my 16-hour Jump Trades broadcast with Rob Booker. Click the button below. There's one trick I want you to know before the splash on the Australian dollar. Do it now.